Princess Anne has never been one to shy away from tough decisions, but her actions have shaken the royal family this time. Known for her no-nonsense approach and fierce loyalty to the crown, Anne's latest choice left Queen Camilla, her sister-in-law, in tears. The Princess Royal reportedly said, "You're not queen, everyone knows that." The two have never been on good terms, but this decision feels personal. Why did Anne take such a firm stand against her sister-in-law, and how has this affected Camilla? These questions have sparked significant interest as we delve into the latest tensions between two of the most influential women in the British royal family. Princess Anne's decision has added a new layer of strain to her and Queen Camilla's already turbulent relationship. Princess Anne has built a reputation as one of the most hard-working British royals. Royal watchers describe her as a no-nonsense princess with an unwavering sense of duty. She is admired for her straightforward, fuss-free approach and her relentless dedication, earning her the title of the hardest-working royal for many consecutive years. However, when someone like Anne makes up her mind, it is nearly impossible to change it. This wasn't just another royal matter, it was deeply personal. The consequences of Anne's decision left Queen Camilla in tears, highlighting the unresolved tensions between them. Their relationship has never been warm, and this latest development serves as a stark reminder that old wounds do not easily heal, even in the golden halls of Buckingham Palace. This is not the first time Anne has taken a strong stance against Camilla. Flashback to 2005, when King Charles wanted to marry Camilla officially. Anne was uncomfortable with the idea and questioned whether Camilla had the capacity to handle the demands of royal life. And wondered if Camilla was truly ready to prioritize the monarchy's needs above her own. Her reservations were rooted in practicality and personal experience. At the time, Anne was not the only royal opposed to the marriage. Prince Andrew also disagreed, but his reasons were reportedly less about the monarchy's welfare and more about his own ambitions. Royal insiders suggest that Andrew even proposed removing Charles from the line of succession if he proceeded with the marriage. While Andrew's objections were politically motivated, Anne's concerns stemmed from her loyalty to the crown and her belief in her brother's duty. Even years later, sources close to Camilla reveal that she has not forgotten Andrew's attempts to undermine her and Charles. However, Anne's reservations were less about politics and more about safeguarding the monarchy's image. Anne was fiercely loyal to their late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, who held a unique and revered position on the world stage as the head of state for 15 Commonwealth nations. Anne's protective stance reflected her deep respect for the monarchy's legacy and its enduring role in the modern world. The idea of Charles marrying his former mistress was hard to swallow at the time. Anne reportedly said Camilla would never be a true queen, as she wasn't convinced Camilla had the work ethic or sense of duty needed for such a high-profile role. In Anne's eyes, being a royal family member isn't about titles or personal happiness, it is about sacrifice and service. Camilla, at least in those early years, didn't seem like a natural fit for the role. Fast forward to recent times, with Charles's coronation just a few weeks away. The seat of royal dignity, which is yours by the authority of Almighty God, may that same God. Something unexpected happened. The royal family called a meeting to sort out Camilla's future role, which would be important for the British people. We are not just talking about a title, whoever stepped in as the Queen would embrace the values and vision of the monarchy. As Queen Consort, Camilla was naturally in line for the role, but Anne had other plans. According to British media, Anne is the hardest-working royal, and you heard that right. This isn't just a flattering title, it's a fact. Year after year, she tops the charts in the number of public engagements attended, often outpacing younger royals and taking on responsibilities others shy away from. For her, every decision must align with what best serves the institution of the royal family, regardless of familial ties or emotions. So Anne's meeting wasn't sugared or dressed up for diplomacy. Princess Anne's trip to Sydney had already had a big impact. The Princess Royal met with the families of 2 firefighting volunteers who lost their lives protecting others. She laid out her thoughts in plain terms, emphasizing that the role required someone who could represent the monarchy with the highest level of public trust and dedication. She felt that person wasn't Camilla. But that is not all. What made the moment interesting was how it happened. Imagine the scene: the royal family gathered in one of the grand rooms of Buckingham Palace. King Charles sat at the head of the room, listening carefully as opinions were shared. Sitting close to him, Camilla likely felt a mix of anticipation and unease. She was no stranger to controversy, but this was different, this was family. And spoke about the need for the monarchy to adapt to modern expectations while staying true to its core principles. Her words weren't harsh, but they were firm. She pointed out that this decision wasn't about titles or marital status, but about public perception and trust, qualities she felt were paramount for this particular role. Camilla is not fit for the role, she declared. According to royal family insiders, Camilla's face immediately betrayed her feelings. That is not all. For years, she had worked tirelessly to fix her image, to step out of the shadow of the infamous. Do you think Mrs. Parker Bowles was a factor in the breakdown of your marriage? Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded. As a dedicated royal consort, she had faced relentless media attacks, endured public hostility, and even managed to win over a skeptical press. Yet here she was, hearing and imply that her efforts weren't enough. Charles tried to mediate, but didn't change her stance. Her words were not meant to be cruel, they were simply her truth, spoken with the honesty that defined her role within the family. But for Camilla, the impact was deeply personal. She had come so far and endured so much, only to have her worth questioned by someone whose approval seemed out of reach. After the meeting, sources close to the family reported that Camilla was visibly upset. Tears were shed, not publicly, of course, but in the privacy of the palace. This moment felt like a setback for a woman who had spent decades proving herself to a family and a nation. On the other hand, Anne appeared unshaken. To her, this wasn't about personal relationships or grudges, it was about doing what she believed was right for the monarchy. The royal household worked hard to present a united front in the following days. William made statements about collaboration and shared goals, but behind the scenes, tensions remained high. Supporters of Anne praised her for standing by her convictions, while others sympathized with Camilla. Fortunately, the decision was made, and Camilla was crowned queen alongside her husband. Do you believe that Camilla deserved the opportunity to step into the role? Tell us in the comments section before we continue. As for Anne, she carried on as she always does, focused, steadfast, and unbothered by her decision. She didn't make her choice to gain approval or stir up drama. She made it because she believed it was the right thing to do. And if there's one thing we know about Princess Anne, it's that she doesn't waver once her mind is made up. But let's be honest, Anne's decision wasn't made in a vacuum. There's a history here, one that can't be ignored. The details of their relationship will leave you speechless. Anne and Camilla's long, strained history goes as far back as before Camilla became a part of the royal family. In the early 1970s, Princess Anne was a vibrant young royal, making waves as an equestrian and a woman of independence. Around this time, she became romantically involved with a charming, well-connected officer, Major Andrew Parker Bowles. Andrew wasn't just any suitor, he was a man with deep ties to royal circles, and many people in those circles loved him. A royal biographer puts it this way: Major Andrew Parker Bowles had a magnetic charisma. Fortunately for Anne, they both had an interest in horses and began to see each other. But there was a problem. Andrew was Catholic, which meant he was an unsuitable candidate for marriage to a royal family member. By a law called the Act of Settlement of 1701, all members of the royal family were barred from marrying Roman Catholics. Despite their connection and chemistry, Anne knew their relationship couldn't lead to the altar. Still, their bond was undeniable, and they enjoyed a close relationship for a while. Around the same time, Camilla was dating Andrew. Their relationship with him was never entirely smooth, and they often found themselves in cycles of separation and reunion. However, eventually, their connection worked, and in 1973, Andrew and Camilla tied the knot, officially ending Andrew's relationship with Anne. According to reports, while Anne moved on and married Mark Phillips, Andrew remained interested in their relationship. Their friendship endured, and Anne even named him a godfather to her daughter, Zara Tyndall. For Camilla, the enduring closeness between her husband and Princess Anne was, at best, unacceptable. While there's no public evidence of outright enmity, the situation still affected their relationship. Things were about to get a lot more interesting when Camilla divorced Andrew and married Charles decades later. Her relationship with Anne changed. to be honest, and wasn't the type to welcome outsiders easily, and this affected Camilla's entrance into the royal family. As the woman widely seen as the cause of Charles and Diana's failed marriage, she was the villain, the third person in the marriage. She needed to rehabilitate her image. Camilla found it difficult to earn the respect and acceptance of both the public and the royal family. When Camilla married Charles, insiders reported that and didn't try to hide her opposition to the union. It wasn't personal, like most family feuds, and simply held firm to her values. She had spent her life upholding the traditions of the monarchy with unrelenting dedication, and she expected others to meet the same standard. For Anne, Camilla's entry into the family came with problems that couldn't be easily overlooked. According to royal insiders, Camilla found Anne's attitude difficult and unnerving to cope with. For Anne, respect had to be earned through actions, not titles or marital connections. While Anne acknowledged Camilla's relationship with Charles, she wasn't one to shower her with affection or make her feel particularly welcome. Over time, Camilla worked tirelessly to establish herself as a valuable royal family member. She took on charitable causes, followed Charles on countless engagements, and began winning over some skeptical public members. And started to reduce her opposition slightly, recognizing the effort Camilla put into her role, but their relationship remained formal at best. Body language experts say the two women acted polite but distant during public engagements. Despite these efforts to get along, there were moments when their differences became obvious. A relentless commitment to duty has defined Anne's life, while Camilla, by contrast, has always had a more relaxed approach to life. Princess Anne could take the crown as the hardest-working and most low-key royal in the family. These different attitudes toward duty and responsibility have undoubtedly contributed to their tension. For instance, Anne has always believed that actions speak louder than words. She attends hundreds of engagements yearly, often without fanfare or fuss, and has never sought to cultivate a glamorous or media-friendly image. On the other hand, Camilla has enjoyed a much more public journey, one that required her to seek approval and actively rehabilitate her image. This kind of public courting may seem unnecessary and even offensive to Anne. However, before blaming Camilla for her lifestyle choice, it's important to consider their generational and personal differences. Anne was born into royalty and raised with an unshakable sense of duty from day one. Although Camilla is also from a rich background, she had a more conventional upbringing and spent much of her early life outside the royal bubble. This background difference explains why their approaches to life are so different. Publicly, the two women have appeared together at various events, often exchanging smiles and engaging in conversation. According to body language experts, the two have reached a place of mutual tolerance. However, it's unclear why Anne opposed full queen privileges for Camilla, which felt like a personal blow to her. For Anne, this wasn't a personal attack but rather a matter of principle. However, for Camilla, it felt like a direct attack. The fallout with Anne also brought to light a hard reality: acceptance doesn't always mean equality. In the royal family, everyone understood that Camilla was the wife of King Charles, but Anne still had more influence over royal matters, including ones that affected Camilla deeply. Some royal observers tried to downplay the issue and its impact on Camilla, but Anne dealt another blow recently. This occurred during the University of London's Foundation Day, where Camilla was invited to receive an honorary doctorate for her contributions to British society. However, a surprising turn of events unfolded. Princess Anne, who happens to be the university's chancellor, was responsible for presenting the honor. The event was meant to show the united front between the two women, but what transpired left everyone speechless. When the two arrived to meet the other awardees, Camilla invited Anne to break royal protocol and enter the room before her. It was a small gesture made in the spirit of goodwill, but Anne politely declined, smiling as she let Camilla proceed first. This wasn't an act of hostility but rather a classic example of Anne firmly grounded in the rules that have defined her role for decades. For her, protocol wasn't just a formality, it was a symbol of the institution she had spent her life serving. For Camilla, moments like these served as reminders that despite her position as queen, Anne's respect was still something she had to work to earn. She saw it as another instance of being held at arm's length, a subtle reminder of her place within the family. After the ceremony, those close to Camilla noticed a visible change in her demeanor. She was deeply upset, not just by the decision itself but by what it represented. Anne's move felt like a public vote of no confidence, a reminder that her place in the family wasn't as solid as it might have seemed. Despite Camilla's position as Queen Consort, she's been by King Charles's side throughout the mourning period for Queen Elizabeth, yet and still slightly views her as an outsider. At another public event just days later, people noticed that Camilla, now Queen Consort, was not her usual self. Her confidence seemed reduced, and royal watchers observed that she was quieter than normal. According to sources, Camilla confided in close friends and advisors behind closed doors, expressing her disappointment and wondering how she could rebuild a bond with Anne after such a public rejection. As Camilla's husband, King Charles understood her feelings of hurt and exclusion. However, as Anne's brother, he also recognized her unshakable commitment to duty and the monarchy. There is no doubt that the new monarchs of the United Kingdom are in their twilight years, and as a result, speculation about the future has run rampant. Charles knew better than anyone that Anne's decision wasn't born out of malice, it was simply Anne being Anne, prioritizing the institution above all else. This incident also reinforced a truth that Camilla had long understood: respect within the royal family isn't given lightly, and for some, it might never come at all. Despite her pains, Camilla's spirit is not defeated. Those who know her describe her as resilient, someone who doesn't back down from a challenge. This latest setback is unlikely to derail her long-term efforts to stand her ground within the family. If anything, it has served as a reminder of the work still to be done in her public role and relationships. Anne now faces a difficult choice: whether to let Anne's decision define her relationship with the Princess Royal, or to use it as motivation to strengthen her role and continue proving her dedication. How their relationship will play out moving forward remains to be seen, but some royal watchers believe that Princess Anne and Queen Camilla might find common ground. Anne has always been known for not handing out compliments easily. For her, actions speak louder than words, and she respects royal family members who are hardworking. Camilla, over time, has had to work hard to earn her place in the royal family. Anne has started to notice something significant: Camilla makes Charles happy. For Anne, who has always been fiercely loyal to her brother, this means a great deal. Anne has observed how much Camilla supports Charles, not just as his wife, but as his partner in the enormous responsibility of being king. Anne knows how heavy that crown can feel, even when it's not physically on her head. She has seen how much pressure Charles is under, and how Camilla has been there for him through it all. This is something Anne can't ignore. In a rare interview, Anne even acknowledged that Camilla had done a great job stepping into her role as Queen Consort. She admitted that being a British royal didn't come naturally to Camilla. She wasn't born into this world like Anne, but Camilla has embraced the role and done it well. Coming from Anne, this is high praise, and while it may not be the most expected, it speaks volumes. Over the years, Camilla has taken on more and more responsibilities, working tirelessly to support Charles and to represent the monarchy. Despite occasional issues, Anne has always admired Camilla's consistency. Anne was part of the royal family that didn't want Charles to marry Camilla back in 2005, as to people like Anne and Prince Harry, Camilla didn't seem to bring much to the table. So, what does the future hold for these two? If the past is anything to go by, it will be a slow and steady process. Neither Anne nor Camilla is the kind of person to rush things, but there are promising signs for the future. They will continue to work together as senior royals, often attending the same events and supporting the same causes. They may not fully like each other just yet, but these shared responsibilities provide opportunities for them to build on the progress they've already made. The more Anne and Camilla see each other in action, the more they are likely to appreciate what the other brings. Another factor working in their favor is Charles' incredible loyalty to his sister. Anne has made it clear that she is happy to see him with Camilla, knowing that Camilla makes Charles happy. This is a significant element in how Anne will treat Camilla going forward. Relationships like this don't change overnight, but time has a way of softening even the hardest edges. As for Andrew, his relationship with Camilla remains strained to this day. Unlike Anne, who has gradually warmed to her sister-in-law, Andrew has never fully mended fences with her. Camilla, for her part, hasn't forgotten how little support she received from him during the tough years when public opinion was against her and Charles. Their interactions are cordial, but distant. Looking back, it's clear that the initial opposition to Charles and Camilla's marriage was about more than just personal opinions or family drama. Anne and Camilla have come a long way from their polite but distant interactions, and there's every reason to believe they will continue to move in a positive direction. Will they ever become the kind of sisters-in-law who share inside jokes and confide in each other over tea? Probably not, but they don't need to be. What matters is that they are finding a way to work together, respect each other, and support Charles and the monarchy. So, pay close attention the next time you see Anne and Camilla at a royal event. You might just notice a sign of that warming bond, a smile, a shared look, or a moment of quiet understanding. It's not flashy, but it's real, and for two women who have seen and been through so much, that's what truly matters. Thank you for staying with us. Do you think Anne was right to oppose Camilla as a full queen? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, click the following video on your screen, and we hope you'll enjoy it.